Hey everyone, welcome back to Ourmindslifestyle. We focus on finances, relationships, and more. Welcome back to Ourmindslifestyle. I'm your host, kaydonebelle.
And I'm Ethan.belle.
And today we have two special guests joining us.
It's lit today. Life is good.
And I'll let you introduce them.
So, I'm going to let y'all introduce yourself because y'all amazing people and y'all don't deserve for me to talk about it. Yo, I'm honored to be in y'all.
Hey, man, don't do that.
Oh my God.
Don't do that.
Good job.
No, keep going.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, okay, well, my name's Megan Francisco Harris.
Intro.
You should.
And
Because we put y'all podcast in the link too.
oh my goodness, well, what's up with it? But my name's Megan, and then this is...
I'm Greg. What's going on? What's happening?
And we are so happy to be here.
Sure.
Yes.
We are hosts of Get It Together podcast.
Yep.
And I am a doctor of physical therapy by day and a podcaster and relationship coach by night.
I am a fireman and an actor by day and a podcaster. She said by night, but I'm like,
I know.
All day.
She said by night. I'm like, you podcaster all the time.
All day.
I said I woke up like this.
Yeah.
I know.
Do this all day.
Yes,
This is my sleep.
but seriously, we're so happy to be here.
Yes, man. Thank y'all so much.
So I feel like, honestly, and also, you're welcome. Also, thank you for being here. Literally, since we've been in Atlanta, you're literally our first podcast guest. And it's been authentic. Like, it's a real vibe. Like, we hang out in real life. Like, you know what I mean? So, honestly, I am humbly grateful for y'all being here.
Appreciate it, man.
I'm really grateful. I could cry, but I'm going to save y'all the tears. However, so since y'all gave a backstory of how we met, I figured we'd give the audience some backstory. So we went to this networking event, and it was lit. Greenlit to be exact. Right, yes. Met some amazing people there as far as networking. Everybody's ready to work and grind. So it was funny. It's because they go tap into y'all podcast and be like, y'all told the same story, but like this really happened. Like,
This for real.
Yeah. So literally me and my wife, we're a unit. So like we got the same accord. We network with intention, but then we also we human too. So we thoroughly just like some people. We like, hey, we should go hang out one day, grab a drink or something. But back to the story. So essentially, I was walking around the room. I think I went to the bathroom or something like that, and then I came back, and then I seen Kaydon. She was good. She was doing her thing. She was talking to this girl. Wink, wink. So then. I was like, all right, well, she's busy having a conversation. I'm not going to be that weirdo that's, looking over, she's good. So I was like, I'm going to start talking to some people. So then I was like, well, I seen this guy. He seems very welcoming, kind of standoffish. He looked like he might slap your mama, but it's like, I'm going to say what's up to him, right? So I was like, what's up, bro?
Nicest person.
Right. So I'm like, yo, bro, how you doing tonight? He's like, man, I'm good, man. I'm just trying to network. So me and him started talking, we started conversing, and then he was like, yeah, me and my wife, we came here, you know what I'm saying, I'm an actor, she has a podcast, we work together on it, we're building a brand. So I was like, really, that's crazy, because me and my wife came here. So then I was like, really, I think you either asked me or I asked him, so who's your wife? Long story short, point over, I was like, oh, that's my wife right
And
there.
look, they both turned around waving. They both turned around.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It's like, that's my wife.
Yeah.
Alright.
We just become best friends.
Right.
And at that point, we've been best friends ever since.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, we just left the bar, so we're feeling a little woozy.
Listen, there's a lesson in that. We just left a bar, but we are so dedicated to our craft that we decided to film a podcast because we always have great conversations, and I love to talk.
I love to talk.
We always have this thing where we're like, we're not going to talk right now because this is a podcast topic. This is a podcast topic.
Oh my
so,
God.
let's go have a podcast.
I know.
And talk about our topics.
Yes,
Do it.
let's do it.
Yes.
Let's do it.
So that's what we're doing today. And to start our podcast off, the first thing that I want to talk about is since we've been together in our relationship, you guys been together how long?
5 years.
5 years. And we've been together 9
Damn,
years.
y'all old.
So, yeah. Y'all old.
No, I'm kidding.
Y'all been together 9 years.
I know.
You came out the cradle together.
We did. Life is good all the time. No.
So with y'all being together 5 years and us being together 9 years, we briefly started talking about this at the bar, but I also want y'all perspectives as well. This is just to kind of get y'all perspective on this. When you're in a relationship, you deal with ups and downs. Everything's not 100% good all the time.
Right.
The question I asked Megan, she's like, this is a really good question. When you're in your relationship, at what point do you, like, I'm gonna give you a scenario. So say we lost our jobs in the beginning of our relationship. Do you decide to, we lost, like this, we lost our job, then we lost our job again.
Okay.
We lost our job twice. So now you're the only one bringing in income. We don't have a job. We're at a very low place where we're still trying to figure ourselves out. We're actually starting to feel depressed. We got a lot going on mentally. Do y'all continue to stand by us and support us during this time, or would you decide to move on? At what part in your relationship would you decide that?
I'm out.
You're out?
I'm good.
That's your final answer?
Yeah, no, you a bum, I'm out.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
We're gonna come back to you.
I'm kidding. Like, bro, you're trash.
Real red flag.
Look, you need to go home. You're done. You're done.
Screwed it all the way over here.
We'll start with you, Greg.
Alright, so for me, I mean, I'm kind of in a space right now where, like, career-wise, I'm a fireman. I was working for actual great city, and I left because I wanted to pursue acting. So that was my dream. That's my goal, is to be actor, top shelf actor. I'm talking about drama, comedy, anything you call. I want to be in it. So once I decided to do that, I had to leave that because being a fireman, you're in class some days, you're dedicating your service to the community some days, and then you got to go to work the next day. Then when somebody doesn't come to work, you're literally working 48 hours. Yeah. So I wasn't coming home to my wife, talking to her. I wasn't able to put into the craft that I wanted to do. So I talked to her. She literally was like, babe, I think you should, switch over. I think you should find a better job, and I think you should become an actor. I think that should be your goal. This is your dream. We came to Atlanta to do this. So in a situation where my wife lost her job, I don't have a choice but to have her back right now. Right. Because she's literally telling me, hey, right now, go chase what you need to get. And plus this is a business
so
decision for her.
This is a real story. So I gave a scenario, but this actually happened.
Yeah, this is real.
Oh wow.
And the thing is,
so y'all married for real.
Yeah.
Right.
What investment? This is an investment.
You're paying
because in real life, like, I knew that I was pretty decent at acting, pretty good, but when I did it in front of her, when she saw me go to like a workshop in Houston, she was like, yo, you actually are dedicated to doing stuff. And I was just playing around when I went to that workshop. She was like, no, you can actually do this. So this is an investment. So when I say I don't feel like going to class, she's literally like,
what are you doing, bro?
You better be going. What you mean you ain't going to class? So, like, if she was to come to me and say, babe, I don't have my job no more. Me as a man, I'm like, right now, and I'm thinking real life scenario, I'm like, all right, let me go back to the fire service. Let me go see what I can do there. I got to make sure that we eat. I need to make sure we got a roof over our head. I'm not going to leave her hanging. If she was to say, I don't want to be even if she was to say, I left my job, I don't want to do this no more. All right, my wife sacrificed for me. Now I need to go sacrifice for her. It was good because there was a point where that happened when the COVID hit and you couldn't go to class and stuff. And I was sitting there like, all right, well, I guess I was the only one working at the time. So I was like, all right, let me go work. Let me go bring money home. Let me go do this, do that. Yeah. I was working literally 72 hours almost to make sure that, all right, she comfortable, bet. So, yeah. I lost the topic, but yeah, you get what I mean.
So just to piggyback off that real quick, just like the sacrifice part, and even then, like how this scenario has truly like happened to us over this past year. Like you were going through lots of like mental health things at that time too, and just trying to figure out am I going to stay with this like career that I fought so hard for as far as fire, or I'm going to follow my passion career and my purpose, what I feel like. And it was kind of, I mean, me as being your wife, like I had to, at that point in time, I knew that, okay, things would change if you were to just like leave the fire department. But I also knew I felt like we were put in a position where I could take up the slack from during that time, like we've been blessed as far as just like with our careers and how much income we have, it wouldn't make a difference.
Right.
We can still survive. So like it's like, I don't know, it definitely has been interesting because I guess like, you know, you never think that you like be in that position where it like that conversation comes, but I rather feel like my husband like be like alive and all of himself versus being me just like leaving because he's just fallen to like hard times or he's been like trying to figure out where he's supposed to be in life. Like I'm gonna be, if that's what I was put in this position to be here and be his supporting partner, then I'm gonna do it. So I won't be leaving.
And it's crazy because literally when that was happening, I lost the guy that graduated right before me. I had literally lost him. He passed away in a fire. So that literally drove my decision to really go. I was already gonna mentally like, I don't want to leave my job because I'm gonna have less money. But I came here to pursue my dream. But I don't want to die and this and that. But then when that gentleman rest in power, young black brother, when he passed away, I literally looked at my wife and was like, yo, I think this is a sign from God telling me.
You know what's crazy?
Go.
Your story is actually very similar. So like, it's crazy because it was nowhere near as dangerous and awesome, right? Like I worked at a call center. This girl had a seizure. So all I remember is being on the phone with a customer, and then like this girl, she just screams out of nowhere and falls out on the floor. Like
a coworker or on?
It was my coworker. She was on the call and everything with a customer, and then like had a seizure, and like literally it like I got really emotional about it because I was like, bro, I'm not about to die doing this. Like I refuse to die doing this. So like you. No.
Yeah, the stress will like definitely like kill you, and it's like literally a silent killer. So.
Yeah, and then like human beings, like we our days are numbered. We don't know what day we're gonna leave this earth, right? So it's like the last thing I want to do is actually be like wasting my time with something that's not important. And it's like I think honestly, like I don't know, I really admire that out of both of y'all. For you to make the choice to be like, all right, it's risky, but I'm gonna go for it. But then for you to even be like, no, it's risky, but that's his passion. Go for it. Like, and you making that choice and that commitment to do that, because you could have been like, all right, he about to lose money. All right, like, yeah, exactly. All right, like, bro, like this dude, like, bro, I ain't about to say what. Yeah, you feel me? Like, I ain't.
I have a question. So, at what part in your relationship did this happen? Was it like the beginning? Because you gotta.
This story?
This
was like 3 months ago.
This was recent.
Oh, this is recent.
Yeah, because I became a firefighter in Houston in December. January, we moved here, and literally, I ain't gonna say the city I worked for, but as soon as I got here, because I thought like I wasn't gonna have no job for a while. Okay, I'm a new city. You know, it's hard to get into the fire programs here. The second day, I got a call like, hey, we're hiring. I was like, sure, all right, I'll be there tomorrow morning. And literally was there for like 6 months, and then it was like, Jesus Christ, what do I do now? Because it wasn't the fact of losing money. It wasn't the fact of being scared of jumping into acting and that not working out. It was the fact of, am I really a man if I leave this job, this manly job that I worked hard for? And the crazy part about it was, I talked to my aunt because my aunt and my grandmother are the two that I tell all my secrets to. Like when I was trying to propose to her, they were the only ones that knew that I had the ring. The ring was at their house and everything. So I called my aunt, told her like, I think I gotta leave. And she was like, I said, what do you think? She was like, how old are you? I said, I'm 20. I was 28 at the time. She said, I'm 28. She's like, okay. She was like, if you was 40 making this decision, I'd be like, okay, let's just kind of think about it for a second. Let's kind of map out everything before we. She's like, you're 28, bye. Do what you gotta do. So
we all need an aunt like that.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, all right. So yeah, it just happened.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So and the cool thing about that is because it just happened. Because what I was telling Megan is that it's beautiful because it just happened and y'all been together probably I'll still say 5 years because you just had an anniversary. So was it before or after the anniversary? So like 4 years.
This is before the anniversary.
So 4 years you probably were together.
We ain't even really been on a honeymoon at the time. We were still newlyweds.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
We were still newlyweds.
Yeah, because we've been together 5, married 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So as
y'all
far as
been
you being
married 5.
Yeah.
well,
If y'all figuring out life together, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a different.
I mean,
I saw when he went there. Our souls intertwined.
Because to be honest, we celebrate. This is kind of on topic, but we celebrate our the day we met, that anniversary, more than we celebrate the day that we got married. And that's also for another reason, because we had a double wedding when we got married. So we got married with his brother and his girl. Okay. And
that's cool.
We got married on their wedding date. Yeah. We just decided to do it as a spirit of the moment. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because he already proposed to me 4 years later. Yeah. So it's like, at what point y'all just gonna do it? So because he's like, hey, do you want to get married when they get married? Have a double wedding? I was like, bet, let's do it. So we had a double wedding in the park. That's how that happened.
Oh my gosh.
Save the money.
I know, right?
Save the money. Yeah. Flashbacks right now.
Oh, you been like, you wanted a wedding.
It was double.
I wanted my grandma to see the wedding.
We are going to have all of my family, because we were in Arizona, all of my family seen it through Facebook. So we didn't have any family members there. Some of his family was there because they were already coming for his brother's wedding.
They didn't even know
we didn't know we were getting married too. We didn't know we were getting married. Yeah. So
wow, y'all are so spontaneous.
Yeah. When they got here, we literally had them at our house, and we pulled out the certificate, the thing you get from the courthouse. We showed that, and his grandma was like, "What's that?" And they just started like, "I don't know."
My grandmother has this thing, right?
But
so like,
funny.
half of my family, half of my family's super heavily religious, and then half of my family is like more chill.
Yeah,
so like, my grandmother told me, she was like, bro, it was one time I got sick, and she was mad at me after, but like, I didn't call my grandmother because of something she said to me beforehand. So she told me, she was like, pretty much, I'm not coming to your house because y'all not married, right?
Oh wow.
But I ended up getting sick with the flu. This was years ago. I ended up getting sick with the flu, and then I didn't call her to come over because I was like, "You ain't gonna come over and help me? We ain't married. I'm dying over here." Like, but she was mad at me because she was like, "Well, you're sick. That's different." So like, you know, I appreciated that because I was like, "All right, well, I could have called her, but I took your word serious, so I respected it. I'm still gonna live my life how I see fit."
Right.
But I respect your views and your values. Cool. You've been who you are before I was born. I ain't here to tell you who to be. So, my grandmother and my aunt, they're like, you know, heavily religious. So like they flew out for the wedding. Okay. Me and my wife, we had a house. And I was really proud of this house because it was the first house that I ever got. Like, it was a real house. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, it was a beautiful house.
Not a fake house.
It wasn't a fake house.
What's the styrofoam?
Right. It wasn't an apartment. Yeah, it wasn't an apartment.
3 bedrooms.
Yeah, it wasn't an apartment, but it was like a real house. Like, I got my own yard. Like, I never thought that would be possible.
Hey, we got a mortgage.
Right. So I was excited, bro. So the house was rented, but still. Yeah, He said, no, we got a mortgage. No, we got rent. You know what I'm saying? But,
I love how you caught that real quick. Like, no, it must have. No, we had
rented. Yeah. So I was like, you know what I'm saying? My brother, he was actually kind of nervous. He was like, yeah, I'm kind of nervous about, you know, getting married. I was like, well, I've been with my girl long enough. And then we starting businesses and stuff. Like,
I love that.
Shout out to Jerry too, because he actually was the one who actually convinced me of the importance of marriage. Because I have a different outlook than most people. I don't believe in the fairy tale of marriage. Marriage, the legality part of it, is a business deal. So whatever I got, she got. Unless we got a prenuptial agreement, but we didn't get a prenup because we started out broke. So it's like, well, if I get rich, she rode with me through all this shit. All right, cool, take half I got because you invested in it. She's actually invested in it. She's put the work in. She's invested money, time, and effort. So, long story short, my grandmother and my aunt fly in town, and they actually came to my house, right? And I was shocked because I stayed. My mother had a house, and then literally you could drive down the street, and then my house was on the corner. So like, they was at my mom's house. They ended up coming to my house, and so, but at this point, me and my brother had already been talking about like us getting married. right? You're like, all right, we're gonna do it like not us getting married, but like a joint wedding. So you know what I'm saying? Because the world is crazy now. That could be a real thing. Like, yo, you know, we brothers, bro. We about to get married. Like, we about to go half on this girl.
Hey, you want to start these hoes?
Bad boys a whole other level.
Like, yo, we about to watch the Super Bowl or no? Like, you know
But
what I'm
y'all
saying?
get married though.
Right. So, me and him at this point, the four of us had already got like our marriage licenses and all of that, and then I knew an ordained priest. He was a really close friend of mine. Bro, me and my girl about to get married. We actually all worked together, and he loved us as a couple.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yo, I'm about to marry my girl. Like, I want you to be. I know you're a priest, like an ordained priest. I want you to marry us, pretty much. So
he was the ordained minister, and he was our photographer. He had a lot of roles.
That guy said,
he
said the
so
power
sick.
invested in me.
We should have gave them flower girls some cameras. I'm so upset right now.
Somebody, we paid him.
And I can drag out a story, but like long story short, the first time I ever had a house, my grandmother and my aunt, they came over, surprised the hell out of me, right? And we was already gonna tell them that day, but they came over and I was like, yo, you wanna tell them now? Bro, my grandma and my aunt started bawling. And it was like, I think the reason why I was so excited to do that, because my grandma and my aunt both, they wouldn't have came to my crib. Mm-hmm. But they did. They went over their values just because they loved us. And they was like, yo, I'm gonna pop up. Cool. By the way, here goes this marriage like there you go.
Yeah. Something was calling in there. Something was like, I don't know what it is. Let's just go to the baby house.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see what they doing over there.
I have a question for you though. So whenever you mention that you don't believe in like the fairy tale marriage, but more of the legality of marriage, so like, can you like expound on that, and then like why did you decide to get married?
I think I know.
Good question. So I'm gonna tell you why. So because you think about it, right? We were together for 5 years before we got married.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I was faithful to her. She was faithful to me. Mm-hmm. Like, I believed her faithfulness, right? But also, like, think about it. If we were homeless poor people, right? Or let's say we live in a...
It was just when she... It was when she started laughing. I was just like, I feel you. Then she, I was like...
And then he just stopped laughing, so then I couldn't stop laughing.
I'm here. I'm here.
I'm glad it's too mature and done.
So long story short, like, honestly, like, I'm a realist at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. Like, my life wasn't pretty growing up. So I know the dark side of people. I know the light side of people. So, like, with me, I was always taught, you love a girl. I told you this earlier. Like, that's how I was taught. Like, you love a girl, y'all dating, you show her how good of a husband you are. Mm-hmm. Now, that put me in a lot of messed up positions, because then if I'm willing to give, people are willing to take.
Yeah.
You got to find the right person to give everything to. So, but I was already, when me and her started dating, I was already committed. When I was like, yo, I want you to be my girl, I was already invested for the long haul. Mm-hmm. Like, so, and I had already seen couples get old together, and like, you know what I'm saying? I come from a very traditional family, so I had already seen that. So I was already dating her. I was like, dang, this is the first girl, not the first girl, but like, this is the first girl I met that got a nice car. Mm-hmm. Like, she paying her own bills, you know what I'm saying? She on her own, like, she don't need nobody for nothing, like, but we was young. We met at like 18 or 19. So like, I had my own whip, you know what I'm saying? I had my own crib, but I paid my rent though. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, still, like, she took care of her own, her level of, I don't want to call it, actually, yeah, I'll call it independence. Yeah. Like, her level of independence. And
so that's why you wanted to get married, to answer the question?
No. So, I was digging her from the beginning. But then you fast forward us dating and, like, life experiences and then us actually being together. I had already considered her my wife. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, I had already, like, people, like, I'd be like, yeah, that's my wife. Like, all right, well, are y'all really married? No, but that's my wife. Like, at the end of the day, because think about it. As a man, I'm taking the same. If I'm really taking you serious, take away the marriage license. I'm really taking you serious. My actions, I'm still gonna move as a wife, because I will live, I will die, and I will kill for you. Mm-hmm. So those vows alone eliminates a lot of the BS. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the only way that I'm gonna give those vows to you is if not have the same in return because I don't expect her to die for me. Even though honestly, I think she would. Like I feel like she gives me the vibe that she loves me to the point where she's like, the level of care that she takes, and when I'm in danger, I know she would. So, long story short, you take that and you sum it up. It was no different than the relationships and the marriages that I've seen in the married couples, where it's like, we have the same thing that they have, if not better, because they probably going through 10 times more than we, you know what I'm saying, got going on. But on the same token, we still have that same level of commitment.
Right.
What made me transition into like, all right, we're gonna make this a real legalized marriage, was when we started to start businesses together. Because I didn't have anybody at that point that I trusted to make decisions for me. Let's say I God forbid, let's say I get in a bad accident. I'm brain dead, but I got millions of dollars of real estate or millions of dollars of businesses that I need to trust somebody to operate this when I'm gone.
Right.
To give the right amount to the right people, to keep it going. Like, well, me and her always together. Anytime we show up, if I'm going to the strip club, my girl coming with me. My niggas that invite me to the strip club all the time. Like, all right, cool. All right, me and Kaydon coming up. We pulling up. Like, we have that type of relationship. So it's like, when it comes to business, I wanted, like, actually I had a friend of mine. His name's Jerry Mons. He shot a few of our videos. Amazing guy. Honestly, he's like a mentor to me. He's a little older. You know what I'm saying to me? He's married, he has kids. He was actually the one that actually taught me about marriage because he's from Africa. He moved here from Africa. Very wealthy guy. But he taught me what marriage actually means. He was like, well, I can tell you already understand marriage because the level of commitment that you have to your wife, there's nothing keeping y'all together. Y'all could both literally walk away with no ties and y'all good. But y'all decide to work it out. So it was like, when he started explaining, he said, but you got to understand. Because I called her my wife to him, and he was like, no, she's not your wife. And it pissed me off. Like, it legit, like, bro, what are you talking about, bro? Like, that's my wife. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he was like, no, that's not your wife. He said, imagine having the power of the USA behind you. So let's say you walk home. Let's say you show up home, and some guy is piping your wife out. Right? He said, let's say you snap and you kill that guy. Right? It's going to get dark. So let's say you kill that guy. At least if you have a license saying that is my wife, I vowed everything to this woman, I snapped. I was mentally insane. If that's your girlfriend, the government the legal system's not gonna care about the fact that you just wasn't in your right mind. Okay, y'all was boyfriend and girlfriend, bro. Why you ain't just leave? But that's my wife, bro. We investing together. Literally, we have combined our blood and our flesh.
Yes. Okay.
So she is me and I am her. That's why I can make decisions for her. If I'm not feeling something, I can be like, no, I'm not feeling that. We out. But also, if she's not feeling something, she's like, hey, babe, I'm uncomfortable. All right, you uncomfortable? All right, we out. So he taught me the power of marriage. Think about it. You got an empire. You got business. If I die, I don't trust it going to nobody else. I want her to delegate that. And women live longer than men. Like 8 to 10 years. So therefore, if I die, I want her to be like, all right, well, I ain't got kids yet, but at least my nieces and nephews, those are my next, that's kind of my legacy. They're not my kids. But if I'm wealthy, I want that shit to go to them. Right. So it's like, I was like, you know what? Like, I understand what you're saying. Especially because I'm a realist. I'm really blunt and really, like, when it comes to my view of life. So I was just like, no, like, when you put it like that, bro, and not because I don't want to kill somebody that's piping my wife.
No, yeah, but it made it real for you. Like, that makes logical sense as to why.
Right. So I know I could drag it out, but like honestly, like that was the process that I had to be like, you know what? No, like let's actually get married. That's when my brother was like, I'm about to get married, bro. I'm about to get married. Yeah, I'm about to do it. I was like, you sure? He's like, yeah, I'm nervous. I was like, really? Are you? He's like, yeah, honestly, I'm terrified. I was like, you want me to do it with you? And he was like, yeah, that'll make me feel better. All right, bet. I'll talk to my girl. She's like, all right, bet. Well, let's get married. But at that point, we had, At that point, we already had LLCs and S corps in our name. And by that point, we was already starting to get into the business world of entrepreneurship.
And we were together 5 years, so I feel like I wouldn't do something like that a year. I do feel like it takes time. How long a time it takes? What do y'all think about it? Do you think there's a time frame you should put on something? Because you are a relationship coach. So
when it comes to
committing to someone, like marriage wise. Because
when it comes to committing to someone
marriage.
or marriage, like getting
committing to. Oh, that's a great way.
Yes,
commit in general. When it comes to getting married, because like you said, like when you're married, you take on debt. So you guys can just date and it can be cool. Like you said, if you want to leave, you can just leave. But when you get married, if you got debt, that's her debt now.
Yeah.
You got debt, that's your debt now. We figured that out. And it's like, okay.
We'll be right back.